Hey guys, my name's Nick and welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are continuing with our Sector Mechanicus terrain. So we've already covered the floorboards. I'll put a card up and a link in the description below for that. And we've also done all the handrails, all the side guards that go around those floor panels. So again, I'll put a link in the description for that as well if you want to catch up on this progress. So this video is all the struts, all the pillars that hold all the floor up. And we're focusing on how exactly I've gone through the painting of those, and then right at the very end of the video is how all of these sections so far bolt together. And then the next video is after this one, so we've got all the crappy bits out of the way, as it were. We get to move on to the big constructions, all the big parts that actually make these terrain kits what they actually are. They provide all the big pieces of line of sight, they provide all the context for the Sector Mechanicus terrain. So without further ado, let's crack straight into the video. So as with all the other terrain pieces that I've done, the video is done on fast forward at twice the normal speed, so you can skim through at your leisure without worrying about watching it in slow time. So starting with a black prime, as is standard, using the same technique as I've used for the floor panels and for the edge side guards, but this time starting off with a gunmetal or a lead belcher colour if you're a Games Workshop paint expert. Going round circular motions and anti-clockwise motions, and then applying that both sides to all the pieces of struts that I've got. So I've got about 9, I think, that I'm batch painting here. I do have a couple more that that I forgot to clean up that was still sitting in a box somewhere, but I've got 9. As you can see, doing that technique still leaves all the black in all the recesses all nicely shaded, and provides a good foundation, solid base to start moving into the detail. And to keep that detail consistent with all the other parts, I'm using the same palette, so I'm still using the same red, the same bronze and same brass colours that I've used elsewhere. And as you can see here, I'm just picking out all the details to start with that bronze colour, or the brassy brass colour from Vallejo. I'm just picking out various bits of details, pipe work, some of the cylinders and so on. Just getting all that base colour down here, picking out sort of the pipes that are all similar to all the thermal conduits that I've done, and all the other bits that form the Sector Mechanicus terrain kits. And just applying that, you can see here I'm just applying it to some of the large pieces of pipe work that are visible all across this bit. And then once we do that, we repeat that process across all of the struts, and as you can see, I've gone ahead and done that. And as you can see, the detail starts to begin to pop. You can see where all the brassy parts are, and then we can start working on some of the more intricate details as we go through. There's lots of Mechanicus skulls on here, lots of other cabling and so on. And as with all my other videos, cabling has to be red, right? Red is for danger. Don't want anyone unplugging any critical systems on these components. So we always mark our cables out in red. To be honest, green or other colours does work, but for consistency across the terrain pieces, you can see I'm picking out all of the little bits of cable in a blood red colour. And that keeps it nice and consistent and even, and gives that solid feel across all of the terrain kits. So when it all does bolt together, it will look really cool. You can see I'll let that red dry now, and what I've done in between time is given the whole thing an Agrax Earthshade wash. All of the red, all of the brass, all of the black and silver, all given an Agrax Earthshade coat and allowed to dry, and that's both sides. I did the first side and let that settle first, and then once that was dry, I span it all over and then did all the reverse sides. And then we move on and start doing the Mechanicus symbols. So painting in half white and half black is standard, and it's exactly the same way that I've done the other Sector Mechanicus terrain. There's also some light sections. As you can see, that sort of round bit at the top there is actually some kind of torch kind of light, like a lumen. And I've painted that white as well, so that it gives it a good shade when I'm going to go over in either a yellow or a blue to finish those off, so they look like proper light bulbs, really. So the other half of the Sector Mechanicus symbol is black, so just painting in the other half of those in black, and then very carefully painting in all of the sort of the ridge lines on these lights. Now this is almost like a cage that goes over to protect the glass on those lights. So just filling that in black, and that's a nice easy way of doing it. Using those two colours also, what I've done is painted in all the dials and all the sort of temperature gauges and so on, as you can see on some of these components. So on there's 4 large dials and some small ones. I've put a little red section in to indicate sort of the danger threshold that those gauges might reach to. And as you can see on that one, I've painted in the bulb in yellow. And all I did was use a yellow ink wash for that, and then a wash in Agrax Earthshade. This one I used blue, and all I did was paint that blue and then add a dollop of white. And all those areas were then given a gloss varnish. Finally, then we can see exactly what this looks like when you start putting it together. Now, this isn't going to be the finale piece. This isn't what I'm completing, some kind of racetrack. But this is just showing that the sections that I've done so far all bolted together with some of those edge handrails. So there we go then, guys. That's going to wrap this video up. We've now done all the floors, we've done all the handrails, we've now done all of the struts that hold it all together. These were quite boring to paint, I must admit. But this technique that I've used here with the anti-clockwise and clockwise metallic swirling, and then just painting in those details, really does make them stand out. And just it gives it enough detail to not look completely boring when you're playing your games of Warhammer or even Necromunda using this terrain. Hope that's been of use to you guys. As I said, I'll leave links in the description below of the floor panels and the handrails, and I shall catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.